Okay, so after years of that back and forth, the same continuous cycle, finally I was just like, okay, Lord, like enough is enough. It had been like 3 years going on 4, and it was just like enough is enough. Like, I'm tired of the back and forth, I'm tired of this. But genuinely, I did not know how to free myself of the cycle. Like, I'd done everything in my power. Like, we'd gone months without talking, no contact, like tried everything in my power and to make it work, and it just wasn't working. So in 2024, I was like, okay, God, like, I'm gonna give you this year. I think it was probably maybe like later into 2024, maybe around like March 2024. I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna give you this year, and like, I surrender to you. Whatever you want to do, like, that's just what it's gonna do. And so after I did that, like, everything was chill for a little bit, and then things started changing. So in April of 2024 was when my friend ended up getting into a relationship, but the way that it happened caused my heart to get broken, because it was like she got into a relationship, but our relationship hadn't fully like been closed, because again, we were like on and off cycle, whatever. So our relationship the door hadn't fully closed on that, but it was, she got into a relationship. And I think that was God's way of shutting the door in my face, slamming it and locking it and gluing it, and cementing it. No, but I think honestly that's probably the only thing that would have worked. But like, oh my gosh, like it hurt really bad. It hurt really, really bad. And so for like the entire month of April, honestly, I was out of it. Like, out of it. My mind was like such a scary place. Like, the thoughts just would not stop. Considering this, considering that, oh, what's going on right now. Like, I could not sleep. I was barely eating. Like, it was a terrible time. It was a terrible time. Like, my mind literally felt like it was like on, like, buzzing, like it had static electricity or something, because I was thinking so much. And then also, like, I was still working and everything like that, and April is like a major time for education, because like May is all of the testing and stuff, so April is a very important month. So I'm trying to stay focused on work, but like my mind is going, and I do mean going. So that was April, and then obviously like that continued, and that's actually what spurred my first well, not first, because I did try therapy in college, but that spurred like my going to therapy in 2024, because I was like, something's got to give. Like, I need to talk to somebody about this, and I still hadn't told anybody. So I'm walking around literally broken and unknown to anybody, because there would be no reason for me to be broken, because they didn't know anything was going on in the first place. So it was like a lot, because I'm trying to stay composed, but also I'm literally dying inside. But also, like, I'm having to make sure like everything's good. I have no one to talk to for real now, because like she's started this new relationship, and so it was rough. So then I'm like, okay, I need to go to therapy. So I signed up for therapy, and then that's like the first person, or maybe second person. Well, that's like the first person that I forwardly and with my own volition tell about what has gone on for all these years, like what has happened. And honestly, when I told her and she didn't like freak out, or the gates of hell didn't open, it was like such a relief of like, oh my gosh, like no one has died, like everything's fine. Like, I told someone and everything is fine. Like, she's not looking at me in disgust. Like, everything's fine. So then I have my therapy sessions with her, and I, continue on. And as I'm continuing on, like, I'm starting to get better. Like, she's giving me strategies, and I'm starting to see the light. And so then, while this is happening, June comes, and I feel like the Lord is telling me to leave my job. So I'm like, okay, like, I'll step out on faith. I'll leave the job. Surely God has, something bigger and better, elevation, something bigger and better for me. So I leave the job, and the first few months are the summer months, and teachers are usually off in the summer anyway, so I wasn't really concerned. I'm like, okay. But then as we start getting, into the fall, into the September, October, I'm like, okay, Lord, like, what is going on? And so then I'm like, okay, like, I need a job because the savings are dwindling. Like, I done lived, you know, the summer months great, but the savings are dwindling and I need a job. So I go and I'm applying to like all of these places because, you know, I'm like, I have a degree, you know, whatever. Let me apply to different places, see if I can use my degree. Radio silence. I'm hearing nothing. So I'm like, okay. All right, you know, like, I'm heartbroken, I'm jobless, what's really going on here? So after that, I apply and I get a part-time job, and I'm working at a grocery store. And I feel like honestly, the Lord was like, sit down, be humble, truly, because I'm like, are you kidding? Like, this is me in my heart. Are you kidding me right now? Like, I've done all of this. I've gone to school for all these years. I've done this, and I like to end up working at a grocery store, like, part-time, and like, what is going on? But honestly, it turned out to be such a necessary and good experience. I actually still work there part-time now, because I met so many important people for my life, and oh my gosh, I just learned so much about like truly being content and truly having joy, like, in the midst of it, and really realizing that like all of this other stuff is fleeting. Like, truly it doesn't matter. Like, if I have God, I'm literally fine. Like, no matter what job I'm working, no matter who's my friend, who's not, like, quite literally, if I have Jesus, I'm fine. So anyways, so I get the part-time job, and in the midst, I'm like able to do such really random but amazing experiences. I randomly go on 2 game shows, and I like am an extra in a movie. Like, I just get all of these experiences while I'm doing this that I wouldn't have gotten if I was still working my full-time job. So as the time goes on, like, I'm healing. The Lord is really showing me, like, helping me with my identity issues and helping me to really see him as the source, and just really coming into confidence and acknowledging my insecurities and everything like that. And so it ends up that I'm like, I finally am in a space where I feel like I can tell people. So the first person I tell, which is the main person I wanted to tell, was my sister. So I go to her and I'm just like, yeah, I gotta tell you something, like, you know, like, making it whatever. And then I tell her, and I like let it go, and oh my gosh, as I let it go to someone who like has been my best friend throughout my whole life, like supported me and everything, my whole thing was just, I never wanted to let anybody down. And when I told her, and again, the world didn't shift or anything, she was like, okay. And like, she asked clarifying questions, everything, but it was just, oh my gosh, it was just like such a weight off. It was such a weight off. And then that's when I realized, I'm like, I did all of that for what? I was literally in despair, in such a place of darkness, in such a place of turmoil, of secrecy and lies, for literally no reason. Like, I told her, and then a little bit later on, like, I told my brothers and like my other family and stuff. And literally, it was just like one of those things. Was like, okay, like, this happened, and you're human, you make mistakes, and now, like, okay, like, just asking clarifying questions, then like, okay, are you still struggling? Or like literally just, it was just not what I expected it to be at all. And then that's how I know, like, that the enemy was really just trying to keep me bound, truly just trying to keep me in this darkness, to try to make me think that if I told anybody, like, that was gonna be the end of me, and like all these things. But I told them, and it was fine. Like, we talked about it, and then it just became another part of history. So that was a major breakthrough, just being able to tell people and being able to open up. And then after that happened, it was just like a weight off. Like, I felt like I was able to grow and learn and just be present in life, because I didn't have to look over my shoulder and make sure, you know, like, somebody wasn't finding it. Like, it was just like, I can live. So that felt really, really good. And I feel like after that, it was just, okay, God, like, what is it that you want me to do? Living day by day. And so then towards the fall of 2025, I felt like God was saying, okay, like, you know, like, let's look for a job again in teaching. And so I was like, okay, you know, like, whatever, stable income, yes. salary. Yes, let's do it. No, so I applied for the job, and literally, like, I texted someone who I used to work with, and I was like, hey, like, can you write me a recommendation? And she was like, actually, she doesn't even live in this state anymore, but she was like, actually, I know someone who's hiring. I'm gonna send you that information right now. I texted them, and literally within like 2 hours I had the job. I was like, okay, thank you, Lord. Like, thank you, God, you know. And literally, this job is so much more peaceful. I have so much more peace, so much more support and opportunities to grow and everything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, thank you, God. And I feel like that is currently where I am at in a season of just restoration and repair. Being out of my job for so long and just living off a part-time income was definitely a faith step. And I never went hungry or anything like that. So the Lord did provide for sure. But also during that time, my car broke. Like the engine failed or whatever, and it would have cost more to fix it than the car was worth. So unfortunately, we had to let her go. So it was just like a lot of things happening at once. Like, you know how they say when it rains it pours. It was pouring. It was very much pouring, like hailstones. And so now I just feel like it's a season of restoration and rebuilding, but in a way that's better than before. So yeah. I just like gabbed about a lot, and I feel like I didn't go too in depth, but it definitely gives an overview of my story, my testimony of things I've been through and have lived to tell about. I think God is just really good, and he's so powerful in the way that he works things out, because now I'm in a place of just such peace, honestly, that I just didn't see as possible just a few short years ago. And I think too, like, if someone would have told me what I would have had to go through to get to this, I probably would have not gone through it, just because it was hard, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So that was my free therapy session. Thank you so much for helping me. And now I feel like that the past has been confronted. We can get into the future. So here's to the future. I'm so excited.